Hello, and welcome to the Sunday Post. My name is Joe Greenwood, and you are listening to me talking about some fights. Most notably, I'm going to be talking about Merab Ddvalishvili versus Petr Yan. What else was on that card that was good? There's a few things. We're going to talk about Usman Nurmagomedov versus Jonathan Martinez. That was good. And then, funnily enough, listeners, we're going to talk about Bellator MMA and their cards that they had on Friday night, which I've got to say I was confused by more than impressed, which was headlined by Usman Nurmagomedov. Also going to talk about Alexander Shabali, Tafik Musayev, Linton Vassal, the UK's own, Valentin Moldovsky. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Michael Venom Page versus Goiti Yamauchi. But first, let's talk about Merab Ddvalishvili versus Petr Yan. Ddvalishvili wins by decision of the unanimous variety. I scored it 50-45 for Mr. Ddvalishvili. And to be honest, any other score other than that would be ludicrous. Was it one of these fights where I was thinking, does Merab actually have that cardio that they say that he does, where it's this relentless freak cardio? Like, yeah, he's done it over 3 rounds. Okay, fair enough. No, he can quite literally do it for 5 rounds. He did have an ideal opponent in a way, though, in Petr Yan, a guy who does like to take his time and does give rounds away due to taking his time and getting reads and whatever else. It's just, if the reads are this guy's throwing a lot of stuff and spamming takedowns. Now, admittedly, I will bring up the stats in a moment, but admittedly, I will say that, yeah, it was pretty incredible the amount of the attempt zones he attempted, I should say. That doesn't actually reflect the actual quality of them. 49 attempted with 11 successful, with a control time of 6 minutes 53 for the entire 25-minute fight. Okay, 6 minutes 53 of control. Pretty impressive. But those failed takedowns are actually part of the success. It's grabbing that leg, making you tired, making you work for that. Like, he's not particularly bothered about taking you down off most of these takedowns, Merab. And as Cormier points out, the single leg being the initial thing he goes for before then opening up to the double. That double then comes from the fact that you're aware that this single leg's coming. So you kind of stand a little bit more square. Merab will also engage you in more striking. A lot of kicks to the body from Merab. Doesn't matter where they land on the torso and the arms. That's the other thing about Merab, is that his output is that, like, it's not particularly refined, and I don't think he particularly cares where he lands as long as he just lands, which can make for an incredibly frustrating experience to fight against and also watch. So yeah, there's that side of it. But also, that striking where he starts to square you up, that then brings you in for a double. Particularly also, like he did in this fight, where he landed a low calf kick and sort of injured Petr Yan's left leg, meaning that he had to then stand southpaw, sort of covering that left leg. Merab was never going to go for the, as I refer to it, as the Cejudo sweeping kick, the one that he did on Cruz. He was never going to go for that to keep targeting that kick, because then you would bring yourself into punching range for Yan. But yeah, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it makes it sound bad when I say it's just a mess of stuff, but it really is. It's a car boot sale of just attack. Endless waves of attack. Just doesn't matter what it is, he's attacking all the time. And that cardio holding up. Now, admittedly, I will say that is suspicious. I don't think that's unfair for me to say. Especially also when you compare the changes that Aljamain Sterling has gone through. But we just have to accept that this is how he is, and there's some freak stories out there of him having crazy workouts, doing 5 rounds, as a warm-up before then doing 5 rounds as his actual workout. Just sparring, endlessly sparring, endlessly grappling, rolling. The man is obviously a machine. Like, if just taking EPO and working out extra is going to do that to you, they'd all do it. But obviously he's got something extra there. I think there's a lot of terrible matchups, for his opponents. like I'm thinking about Marlon Vera, who's got very low output. But I think what he has that someone like Yan doesn't have, which is stop you, rock you power. Yan doesn't really have that. He has more like stinging power, if that makes sense. More like pauses you and then throws another combination. That was the other thing about this fight, is that I actually felt that Yan landed the cleaner stuff. Like when he did land, he landed like a really lovely 3-2 combo. I think he was in the second round. But it's just not enough. It's just not going to beat that clubbing intensity of Merab. But yeah, someone like Marlon Vera could be an interesting one. Just, pausing them. He has stated he's just going to wait out Aljo, and Aljo's basically outlined what Aljo's timeline will be, which is what I suggested, which would be Cejudo and then O'Malley before they're moving up to featherweight. Very risky to do that before potentially moving up, but obviously that's the way you're going to make the most money. And then he'll just wait for his title shot then. I'm guessing for a vacant title against someone like Marlon Vera. Which again, if you're Vera or Sandhagen even, you get that win, and I think just wait it out with Merab. I don't think anyone else is going to catch up to you in those rankings. Not yet, at least. So, that would be the move. As for Yan, oh man, is he in trouble? This is getting close to that line of are we going to cut him? Now, a couple suggestions for matchups for Yan. Devson Figueiredo, perhaps, in his debut at 135. Could be interesting. The winner of Ricky Simón versus Song Yadong. That could be interesting. What about Adrian Yanez, winner of Yanez versus Font? That could be interesting. And again, as Tom said on the pod, these losses have now made you reconsider his wins, which is a hell of a spot to be in for someone who was a champion and we thought was going to dominate. And my God, his career has just gone downhill since that knee. Alexander Volkov defeats Alexander Romanov. Romanov deciding, fuck it, I don't want to be a fighter anymore. I mean, even Felder commented on his physique, and how jiggly it was. Unlike a lot of people, I don't particularly want to be represented in the media that I watch, so I was pretty disappointed with Romanov there. But quite literally, by the way, Volkov doing what I thought he was going to do, which was kick him in the belly, and then that would be it. The ground and pound was disgusting. Got the back control, which was very nice. But it's always those under the armpit ones, where it's just it's got a further travel, but it's it's obviously a straighter punch. Jonathan Martinez defeats Said Nurmagomedov by unanimous decision. I had it for Martinez, 2-1. Nurmagomedov wins the first round. They were saying that he trains with Zabit, or trained with Zabit, Said did. No shit. Gassing out. Heavy gassing out. And actually, I was quite impressed with him in the first round, going he's one of these guys who actually throws 3-shot combinations, and Martinez, he's got to start throwing more multiple shot combinations. No, he doesn't. Just let him throw 3-shot combos, gas out, and then just grind him down. I thought it was a bit strange up against the fence, but I guess that kind of got him the win in the third round. I actually think maybe the armbar is what really won it for him in the third round. I said that like Chris Jericho on WCW Nitro when he's going through his lists of Dean Malenko is the man with 1,000 holds, but Chris Jericho is the man of 1,001 holds, and then proceeds to read them all out on Nitro, of which at least 12 that were broadcast were actually armbar. Good stuff. But yes, Martinez, really nice win. Should get him into the rankings. How about another Nurmagomedov for him? Huh? Umar Nurmagomedov? That could be good. That could be good. But yeah, Martinez, very impressive. But more in just the grit. More in the grit and also rolling with Nurmagomedov on the ground. Following him along there. I would also, maybe suggest mixing up the kicks. I mean, that's just, again, his low kicking game, it was trading it like for like in the first round. He kind of gave away that first round. Like, if he threw a bit more and he landed something clean, that could have really made a bit of a difference. But he essentially won that third round, the decisive round, from clinching up against the fence and an armbar. Need a bit more for Martinez, but a very good win nonetheless. A good name to have on your record. Should I bring up some bantamweights? Why not? We love talking about bantamweights. And then I'll move on to Bellator and that hilarious card that they had. The main card I'm going to go through there. Pedro Munoz? Dom Cruz? Dom Cruz seems to be the sitting duck that a lot of guys are going for. So, maybe Dom Cruz, that could be a good one to go for. Right, Bellator 292, headlined by Usman Nurmagomedov defeating Benson Henderson for the lightweight title. Look, I mean, Usman was a huge favourite going into it, as he should have been, to quite ridiculous odds. But, got the job done. Question mark kick, and he lands it, and as he lands it, he slips, but like the question mark kick, came up in like a straight line initially, like it was one of those Volkov kicks to the gut, and then it literally just whipped around from up there. It was absolutely sublime. Henderson stunned, down to the ground, Usman takes it back, rear naked choke in. Hilarious Big John McCarthy commentary going like, oh, Henderson's alright here, and then it literally a millisecond later taps out, and then Mauro Ranallo going, no he's not, so immediately burying his commentary partner, knowing that he is a jabron. Mauro Ranallo, by the way, the GOAT. Alexander Shabali defeats Taufik Musayev. This was the hardcore fans' choice, and it was dreadful. This was an absolute dreadful fight. Just endless feinting and circling, and then when they did exchange, it was, quite close countering that I was giving to Shabli. Like, they'd throw at the same time. I always felt that Shabli, he had a really good sort of like left arm block. Like, Musayev was really loading up the right hand to land. But Shabli, in every exchange, had that left arm up to protect those shots, and then would counter from there once the shot was blocked. Really good stuff from him. Ends with a TKO kick to the body where Shabli lands the kick to the body and then the foot comes down from the kick and hits him in the cup. So it wasn't a cup shot technically, even though that was the main action. Jason Herzog sees the replay and he's like, you got to get up. Musayev, you got to get up, otherwise the fight's being called off. And obviously he's been kicked in the cup. But it was from a kick to the body, so it's not an illegal shot. Can't respond. Shabli wins and goes through to the next round where he'll face the winner of the rubbish Pitbull brother versus AJ McKee. Hilarious. Bellator will Bellator. And now let's talk about the Brits. Let's talk about Linton Vassal first. Defeats Valentin Moldovsky. Elbows from the mount, my God. Linton Vassal, 5 wins in a row, 4 finishes. Get him that heavyweight title. Run Wembley Arena or Dublin. That seems to be the only 2 places they run now. Outside of that casino in New Jersey. Oh, San Jose as well. They love the San Jose. The, what's it called? Shark Pit? The Shark Tank. That's what it's called. They love that arena. Yeah, Linton Vassal. Beautiful elbows from the top. My God. Disgusting ground and pound from him. But that was really good. Like, stayed with Moldovsky on the ground. Again, this was something that came across from both Bellator and the UFC, was like, guys getting into the grappling exchange and just following their guy. Just following him and waiting to, like, for that pause in movement for then you to then continue to get into a better position. He also did rock Moldovsky before that. But yeah, really excellent finish from Vassal. Let's talk about the most discussed one. This is Michael Venom Page is just filled with these. Defeats Kohoti Yamauchi by leg kick. He threw 2 leg kicks, both exactly the same. Right leg rear kick from a conventional to Yamauchi, whose right knee was the lead leg. Did it twice, and in 26 seconds. First time, lands just on the knee. Second time, lands on the knee, and then cracks the kneecap, blowing out a tendon, and it literally left a dent in Yamauchi's kneecap. Disgusting. Michael Venom Page, what is wrong with you? How come you get these weird ones? Like that cyborg one? Really grim. And that man who broke that guy's nose during the lockdown shows. Flattened it. And the caveman Rickles fight where his head literally blew up. Tremendous. Michael Venom Page. Never not hilarious in there. Right. Thank you so much for listening. I tended to brush over the other stuff there because really it wasn't that interesting outside of that main event and mostly Merab's performance. But thank you for joining me. We will be back this week, probably on Wednesday or Thursday, to break down UFC 286, which is headlined by Leon Edwards vs Kamaru Usman 3 for the welterweight title. Come on, Rock. Come on, Rocky. You can do it. Thank you for joining me. Speak to you then. Goodbye.
Well, I'm driving to town, but I'm on the same road that took me back to home. Put me on the road, now I'm heading for nothing, 'cause it's no more fun. Going down through the pines, what I'm doing I did before, and that's all I see. I'm driving 16 miles, I'm looking for something I don't wanna do, because my coming to town, it took me from you. Now I'm losing my taste for the nightlife. 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 Now I feel like an island, a man in a whorehouse, and I'm back again. I go back to the highland, I go back to the farmhouse in the hills of rain. That I wonder at all where I would be if I could go and find you there. Oh, I wonder so long to find you in how I go standing in where I am right now. Losing my taste for the nightlife. Losing my taste for the nightlife. Losing my taste for the nightlife. Try once if you need to, come back and then you can take it out on me. It's the same that could lead you by all that is what you can do and still be free. You've been gone such a long time, now I know it's for real. And how sad or how good and how I feel. There's a Martinez from the night. There's a Martinez from the night. There's a